People, deluded, I'm back again. I'm sure whether you're an Arsenal fan or fan of football, you find yourself scrolling on social media, on YouTube, on Google, and obviously the news tabloids and headlines in relation to potential talking points as we move closer to the end of the year and the January period, people. As you know, we're going to start to see silly season. We're going to start to see a bunch of players linked with clubs and stuff. As we know, January in itself is a reactive market, reacting to transfers in many sorts of ways, people, and trying to buffer your squad to achieve your goals. Hopefully Arsenal are able to do things. As you know, Ivan Toney has been linked with a bunch of clubs, aggressively Arsenal. I'll get onto it throughout the course of this, but I'm quite pessimistic on Arsenal actually signing Ivan Toney in January for what it's worth, but he has been linked with Arsenal. And again, if he was to look through the Arsenal squad of areas for us to improve, strike would be one of them. Allegedly, we're in the market to strengthen in January, and Ivan Toney is our number one target. Apparently, Brentford won at least 60 million. Apparently, Arsenal need to make a big sell to balance the books before the 30th of June next year. So it isn't impossible to get Ivan Toney done. It's improbable, really. Apparently, we're also looking for a winger primarily to cover Bukayo Saka, and apparently we're actually keeping attentive to loan options. And Pedro Neto's a player we've been linked with, but he will cost a lot of money, as you guys know. David Ornstein has said, in terms of price and profile, I don't see Arsenal going for Osimhen. I suspect he's on their list like he will be for all the top clubs. The pool of strikers is so small at present that any big club looking to sign one are likely to study the same names: Osimhen, Martinez, Sesko, Ferguson, Boniface. You know, players that are coming up and popping up over the 18 months, players with a high ceiling, or the 1-2 players that have been doing it for years. Ornstein has also said, as things stand, I don't think Arsenal are focusing on recruiting a striker in January. My sense is that's more likely to be on the agenda next summer. And I believe that unless we're going to go for a lesser known name or there's some real sort of legs to a deal, I don't know, because as you know, in January it's going to cost a lot of money. Definitely if you want Pedro Neto or Ivan Toney or Osimhen, for example, and things like that. Clubs don't want to let these players go. We might have to make a significant sale. Do you sell Aaron Ramsdale? For me, no, at least until the summer. If he wants to leave, then leave, but we need to keep 2 goalies and have a competitive squad. Do you sell Eddie Nketiah? He signed a new deal. He's become a relatively Premier League proven entity now. Do you sell him to make way for another striker? Do you offer him on loan or as a sweetener to kind of drop the price? Do you bite the bullet? And I don't want to say this, but do you sell Emil Smith-Rowe? Been linked with Aston Villa, West Ham, and as you can see, Newcastle, who also have their own FFP dealings to be worrying about. Again, if we sell Smith-Rowe, it's the unthinkable. I don't actually want to sell Aaron Ramsdale or Smith-Rowe. In an ideal world, I think you bring in a winger and a striker and you keep Eddie Nketiah. I think we need to be braced for what is and has been already a long season filled with injuries. Whoever wants to leave in the summer, keep it moving. But, you know, Partey, Jorginho, Smith-Rowe, Eddie Nketiah, Aaron Ramsdale, no doubt these players are going to be linked with moves away. But maybe it's a needs must. I don't want to consider potentially selling Smith-Rowe. So again, there's big question marks really and truly as to what you do in that regards, especially if we have to make a significant sale, essentially. Going over it again, Arsenal also want a winger, primarily as cover for Saka, and are likely to look at loan options as, again, a player like Neto would cost big money and Wolves would surely not sell in Jan. Again, you've got to make it worth their while. Pedro Neto's a player we wanted in the summer of 2022. He was quoted as 50 million. With the way he's playing initially in the Premier League currently, where does that leave us in terms of the price tag, really? You've got to make it worth their while. Brentford are trying to achieve what they're trying to achieve, as the same goes for Wolves and the same goes for Arsenal. So it does make you think exactly what Arsenal are going to do in January. I would actually say a priority probably has to be a defensive body. You hope Timber is, you know, ahead of schedule. Probably need a defensive body. I would like an addition in midfield. If you could get a winger and or striker, great stuff. Let me know your thoughts. In other news, people, Arsenal have been linked with a very young, talented American people. Not just Arsenal, but Arsenal and Manchester City are allegedly running the race, people, over Noel Buck, who is actually eligible to play for England, plays for England at under 19s level, has drawn interest from a bunch of clubs. And when you look at it here, people, you can actually see a USMNT MLS expert who has spoken about him. And the bulk of that, he said he's got an English passport. So work permit things are not going to be an issue, and there are a lot of English clubs interested. Obviously, we've dealt with New England before to sign Matt Turner. Despite being 18 years of age, he has 31 MLS appearances, people, and 36 appearances for his club in total. So there is a bit of experience. Do you get him in and make some money? Elsewhere, Arsenal have been linked with Dani Almo, as has Chelsea and Manchester City, people, and Real Madrid. You know, he came through Barcelona's academy, went over to Croatia, finds himself playing in Germany, 25 years of age, can play a bunch of roles. I've spoken about him before. Very good technical level. For every report that links him with a bunch of other clubs, he seems to be aggressively linked with a move back to Barcelona. So I am very pessimistic on Arsenal's chances of signing the 25-year-old. He did sign a new deal last summer until 2027. He has a release clause of 60 million euros, which equates to about 52 million odd quid. Elsewhere, people, Jack Wilshere could be going to Colorado Rapids, people, in relation to being a new manager over there. So again, let me know your thoughts on everything we've discussed. Let me know your thoughts on Ivan Toney, on Pedro Neto. Do you think Ivan Toney's the guy? Don't you think he's the guy? Do you believe in Neto? Would you like another defensive body? Do you think Arsenal need a central midfielder? Where are you at if we do need to make a sell? With selling potentially Aaron Ramsdale, Eddie Nketiah, Emil Smith-Rowe potentially in the summer. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, subscribe, check out the rest of the other videos. Most importantly, stay safe, stay blessed, and we link up again soon, folks. One 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 up again.